Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Today, we're going to delve deeper on Angst's main core value, which is sharing our happiness with our communities. The concept of happiness sounds simple, but there's more than meets the eye. How happy are you in the activities you're engaged in relative to the present and the future? When do we feel the happiness that we desire? This presentation will compel you to look back on certain phases of your lives, piece them together, and assess what kind of happiness certain events bring you. Our discussion is based on a chapter from the book entitled Happier, written by Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, a highly renowned expert in psychology. He earned his doctorate degree from Harvard University, where he taught positive psychology. His class became one of the most popular courses in Harvard, attracting 855 enrollees in one semester of 2006. Apparently, more people are interested in learning techniques on how to be happy, because this could potentially improve the quality of their lives. We don't have one sem, but we will share a small slice from this particular course. From his experience, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar developed the happiness archetypes of the Hamburger model, which we will discuss today. It all started when the author was preparing for a big squash tournament. He underwent rigorous training along with a healthy, special diet. 4 weeks before the tournament, he consumed nothing but healthy food like lean fish and chicken, fresh fruits, and vegetables. If you've ever been on a diet, you know that it's not simple to avoid food that you love eating for a month. He envisions that at the end of his sacrifice, he would reward himself by pigging out on junk food as soon as the tournament was over. True enough, that's what happened. After the tournament, he headed to a hamburger joint and ordered 4 hamburgers. Just as he was ready to take his first bite of something he was deprived of for a long time, he suddenly stopped. He knew that he would definitely enjoy eating the hamburgers he had been longing for, but he already experienced the positive effects of abstinence from junk food. He felt cleansed and strong, which resulted in a great performance in the tournament. So he thought to himself, by eating his reward, he would eventually feel unpleasant after just a brief moment of pleasure. This experience gave birth to the Hamburger model of happiness. The Hamburger model presents 4 different types of hamburgers with corresponding archetypes. The first type is a tasty junk food burger which he refused to eat. This defines the hedonism archetype, where the focus is the present benefit at the expense of future detriment. No doubt about it, it's pleasurable to eat this type of burger, but since it is unhealthy, the consequences may be dire. But the hedonist just doesn't care. What is important is the pleasure that he feels at the moment. The second type is a bland vegetarian burger, but packed with the healthiest of all ingredients. This refers to the rat race archetype, where the focus is the future benefit over present detriment. Nobody would enjoy eating this type of burger which has no taste. But considering all the nutrients you will gain from it, you will definitely feel healthy in the long run. The rat racer is more concerned with the future gain despite feeling unhappy at the present. He sacrifices to be rewarded in the future. The third type of burger is totally undesirable. It is neither delicious nor nutritious. It tastes bad and it is unhealthy, which coincides with the nihilism archetype. There is no pleasure at the moment, nor will there be any satisfaction gained in the future. Thus, the author proposed a 4th type of burger, where there are both present and future benefits. A delicious and tasty burger, which also has a lot of health benefits. This hamburger represents the happiness archetype, where the present time is enjoyable and the future is equally fulfilling. Take a look at this graph, which shows the relationships of the different archetypes. The vertical axis shows your future experience, while the horizontal axis shows the present experience. Remember that these archetypes do not aim to classify groups of people. To a certain extent, at different phases in our lives, we have all taken a bite off the vegetarian burger, the junk food burger, the worst burger, and the ideal burger. To help illustrate the different archetypes, let's take a look at the story of Timon, a fictional character created for the purpose of resembling the different journeys that people take. The first archetype that he magnifies is that of a rat racer. As a kid, Timon is trained by his parents to study hard in order to get good grades and earn recognition. Yet he does not enjoy the process of obtaining his academic accomplishments because Timon isn't taught to have fun in school. His parents condition him to keep his eye on his goal and maintain his focus to attain his objective of enrolling in a good college. From that point forward, he uses the same formula. When he reaches college, he is prompted to continue his pursuit of excellence and participate in a lot of activities to spice up his resume to make it more attractive for employers. Once again, he does not enjoy the process, but these things have to be done so he would find a good job. When he gets a good job, he keeps on working hard in order to get a raise or promotion. The race is not over, and he needs to keep the pace for a few more years to reach his goal. But the question is, does he enjoy the things he has to do to get there? Well, you guessed it right. Nope, he does not. You will notice that he has got his work cut out for him. Pursue a series of goals and delay gratification. Attaining these goals would indeed provide happiness, but how long will it last? In the cycle, Timon would bear the difficult path in order to fulfill the next goal, which could only offer him short-lived happiness. A rat racer sacrifices present enjoyment in order to be happy in the future, because conventionally speaking, we are rewarded by the results, not the processes. When the goals have been attained, it only offers temporary relief. Sure, happiness is felt, but only as a result of negation of stress or anxiety. Relief, while it is a pleasant experience, is still different from true happiness. Now ask yourself, what were the episodes in your life when you were part of the rat race? Hit the pause button as you think about it, and whenever you're ready to proceed, hit play again. Let's go back to the story of Timon. He grows tired of chasing his goals to attain happiness which wouldn't last. Instead of focusing on the future like he used to as a rat racer, he turns his attention to having fun at the present time. He indulges in drinks, drugs, women, parties, and all the other worldly pleasures without even worrying about tomorrow. No responsibilities, no obligations, no concerns. But with this kind of lifestyle, he immediately gets bored and becomes unhappy. Since he only focuses on the present time, he loses his sense of purpose since there's nothing to strive for in the future. Timon is now a hedonist. A hedonist always seeks pleasure and avoids pain, and he will do things for immediate gratification, though they are potentially detrimental. A hedonist simply wants to enjoy without exerting any effort, because for them, effort is equivalent to pain, and doing nothing means pleasure. To begin with, hedonists are extremely happy because they live in their bubble of fantasy, enjoying life one day at a time, heading towards the future without any clear direction. Their mantra is, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. However, if living in paradise remains constant, then you will inevitably grow tired of it. In an episode of the classic TV series The Twilight Zone, a ruthless and sinful man dies and is given all the luxuries in life. He mistakenly assumes that he is in heaven. He doesn't have to work at all because everything he wants is just handed to him on a silver platter. Food, clothes, money, and gorgeous women. Eventually, after a month of staying in that place, which is devoid of any challenges, he reaches the brink of insanity because of boredom and predictability. He requests to be transferred to hell, where there may be more challenges for him, but he is shocked to find out that he is already there. Hedonists don't care about the future, but they will find themselves unhappy upon realizing that living without a purpose and meaning is boring. What were the occasions when you lived as a hedonist? Hit the pause button to give yourselves time to reflect, then hit play as soon as you're done thinking about it. Let's check on our friend Timon. So far, he has been unable to achieve true happiness as a rat racer and a hedonist, so he resigns to quiet desperation. He understands the suffering of a rat racer and the hollowness of a hedonist, so he resigns to the fact that he cannot control his own happiness. This archetype illustrates nihilism. A nihilist doesn't care about the present or the future. He clings to his past failures and he has given up on happiness. He is already disillusioned with life because he feels that whatever he does, he can never be happy. he feels helpless and wallows in a life of unhappiness. In an experiment conducted by Dr. Martin Seligman, the founder of positive psychology, he subjected two groups of people to loud and unpleasant noise. The first group could control the noise and stop it, while the second group could not. When it was done again, both were already given the option to turn it off. Surprisingly, the second group did not even attempt to alleviate their condition, because they have already given up on their predicament. Now think about it. Was there a period in your life where you could no longer see beyond your misery? Hit the pause button and give it a thought. Hit play when you're set to continue. So far, we've seen the conflict between present and future benefits, because in the happiness archetypes we have talked about, they don't exist together. One has to be overlooked for the other. One of the students of Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar reproached him about her dilemma. She received a job offer from a very prestigious consulting firm, but she felt that she wouldn't enjoy her work. Other job offers that she deemed more enjoyable also came knocking, but none could compare to the great career path that this firm will set up for her. So she asked him, at what point in her life could she start being happy without worrying about the future? Dr. Ben-Shahar replied that she shouldn't ask if she should be happy now or in the future. She should ask how she can be happy now and in the future. This leads us to the last quadrant where present and future benefits reconcile, where a person can be both happy now and in the future. In the happiness archetype, the person enjoys both the journey and the destination. It is unavoidable and definitely not a fault to be a rat racer or be a hedonist once in a while, but our goal is to be engaged in more activities where we get both present and future benefits. Put it this way, what's laborious and tedious for some may be pleasurable for others. Yes, studying is considered as a chore for some students, and therefore it's not seen as pleasurable. However, if a student manages to enjoy studying and learning, which leads to praises from peers and good grades on the report cards, then he enjoys both the process and the result. Similarly, rendering overtime work usually doesn't seem fun for most people. But still, there are employees who take pleasure in hanging out at the office a little bit longer than required just so they could do more work. Doing such may eventually lead to a promotion, and when that happens, you will have another example of both present and future benefits. This is the key to lasting happiness, or in other words, the perfect burger that we should consume. You enjoy the journey towards a valuable destination. Let me cite a personal example. When I started running, I was just a rat racer. I was just focused on a couple of things: the health benefits of running and covering a long distance within a commendable time. But I didn't enjoy the actual process. I even felt it was a little burden. Waking up early, straining my leg muscles, feeling pain in my joints, these were things that I found difficult to bear. However, after 3 marathons, I fell in love with the activity that I was already looking forward to my practice sessions to be conditioned for a race. From the inconvenience that comes with it, I shifted my attention to the positive aspects that running brings. Feeling the cool breeze blow against my body, listening to my music playlist on my iPod as I make major strides, spending time with my fellow running enthusiasts, and challenging myself mentally that I can always run faster and do better. Let's try a different analogy. Pretend that you're a mountain climber. When do you feel happiness? Will you find happiness only when you reach the summit or only during the trek? Bear in mind that ultimate happiness is the experience of climbing toward the peak. Remember that the challenge is to take part in activities with both present and future benefits. Think back to a period or two in your life when you enjoyed both. Try to do them more often, or think of other activities with the same happiness model. After this presentation, I hope you'll truly try to assess yourself based on the 4 quadrants of happiness. Before we start sharing our happiness to our communities, we first have to understand the principles behind it. That is all for now, and I'll see you again real soon. Au revoir.